Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Develops. We're working on my GenCon Adventure 2020, The Escape from Carceri. Great stuff, I hope. And even though GenCon isn't going to go forward, that's fine. I'll make it work. All right. I think we're doing the Cleric this time. Cleric, level 20. It is level 20. For those of you who are just tuning in, that's the highest level you can get in Dungeons & Dragons, at least officially. It used to go to 30, now it's to 20. It doesn't really matter. It's all pretty arbitrary anyway. But the point is, these are incredibly powerful individuals, and having them try to escape from Carceri together, and needing to do so, is a great line on that. All right, so former cultist. All right, that's not an official background, by the way. That's sacrifice. They were literally supposed to be a sacrifice. Got it. Good. I don't care about experience. I also don't care about race or the player name or anything like that. Again, the player is going to be what sets a lot of these things. Now, we're going to move on to stats. If you've heard this spiel before, the stats are generally the most important thing that you can have. All right. Intelligence, wisdom is for the cleric. What's important? Charisma is also pretty important. What else? I wouldn't put them a schluff on Constitution, Dexterity. Don't necessarily have the smarts to go with it. This feels low. This feels low compared to others. If we wanted to boost something up, that would be probably Constitution. A cleric is generally not. I mean, they can wade in with a mace or what have you, but it's. All right. So here we go. That's that. Then we have the various skills. Definitely going to be religion, because that's importante. Insight, also important. They get the peek inside to a lot of people. Animal handling, because I'm amused by that. That's a freebie, because it's almost definitely not going to be used. Medicine and perception. Wow, that's 5. I mean 4 if you take it. I'll use a little bit of persuasion. I will make this work in post with making sure that they're balanced-ish for the skills they have. Again, these are level 20 characters. They're supposed to be good at stuff. I don't think Arcana fits. Well, it sort of fits. But they're going to be vastly overshadowed by the Wizard and the Bard. No, I think their magic is more intuitive than anything else, and that will have to be that. Did we take something in nature? No, we did not. That's fine. It's an intelligence-based skill. All right. They, of course, have 20d8 hit points. Hit dice. Personality trait. Now, these are fun. These are fun. The book in Dungeons & Dragons has a great list of 10 starter personalities for just about any PC. And it's good stuff. It's good stuff. The thing here about the cleric is they were born to the parents of cultists. They were trusting. No, that's actually a flaw. No, I don't want to give trusting to a fault as a flaw. Sometimes we just don't know. Sometimes we just don't know anything, which is kind of a defeatist way of looking at it, going, sometimes we just don't know anything. And for the God of the Gaps, particularly the High Priest, the God of the Gaps, it's important. Arrogant with reason. With good reason. That's less artistic than I might like. Arrogant, but with good reason. They are powerful, and they do have a my faith sustains me. Literally. Now you might be thinking this is a kind of a religious back. Well, the character is kind of centered around the deity, the god of the gaps that they follow. Uh, Often foolish, and often interesting when they are. All right, their ideals. Bring the word of the god of empty chains. Empty chains? The gaps. The world. It will be a better place. And make it a better place. Bonds. Now, they often have religious bonds. Clerics often do. I'm thinking about things. Let's see. Humanity. Generosity, kindness, compassion. All these be received and returned. Twofold. Should be received. When somebody does something for you, you do something back for them. Twofold. Sometimes we just don't know anything. Okay. The word of Hislan. And make it a better place. Yeah, okay, fine. Alright, now, what kind of weapon do they want for them? The mace is classic, but Morningstar, budget D8/D10 B/ bludgeon or pierce, as you prefer. Following that, a sling D4 10/30. They're not really intended to be a frontline warrior, so let's move on with that. That's not what's interesting. What's interesting is going to be the proficiencies and languages that they have. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the I don't know. There's carving, there's woodworking. I want them to have some sort of construction skill. Architecture. Architecture is a good one. That's almost certainly, not how you spell architectural. Planning. Double complex. Alright. What else? Stone skipping. And let's see, languages. Now, the forgotten tongues of countless forgotten tongues beyond counting, which is entirely useless, but well, there you go. Also, common. I think it's funny that yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. Um, Greetings and salutations in all tongues except the dark. Yeah, no dark tongue for them, I don't think. Well, God, Islam is the god of the gaps. It's what you, God of what you don't know. All right. 2 gold pieces because I don't care. Equipment. Clerical gear. Administrative gear. Abacus. Holy kit. Yeah, because it's going to be like your waters, your ointments, your other stuff that for you to do rituals and things like that. Clerical components. Mana bread. Mana water. And I should do something else. What is something else that mana air bladder? It's a magical air bladder that lets you breathe in it. Okay. So anyway, the cleric has clerical stuff, miracles, and of course the direct line to Hislan, because here in Carceri, Hislan is one of the few deities that is as powerful as they would be beyond the bounds. His portfolio is entirely ensconced within Carceri. Fun. Age 30-ish. I am not going to put and I'm not going to put anything on there. I mean, they filled with stars. That seems good. Skin, hair. I think the eyes filled with stars are okay. Now their allies are entirely there. The flock, the initiates, the acolytes. Did I spell acolyte? Alright, fine, clue. The adepts. So basically they've got their church. Interesting. Walton Freep, who owns the temple grounds. Owns the temple grounds. Insofar as anyone can own things in Carceri. Obviously, they've had a contentious relationship with them. But, temples are going to be where temples are. All right. Illusioned cultists. The souls of the faithful who can't pass on. That's interesting. The souls of the faithful, those who can't pass on. I don't know if I like that, but it's interesting. It's interesting. We'll keep it on there for now. Okay. Well, it's only 15 minutes. Either I'm getting better at this or I'm spending less time screwing around. We also haven't done the character bio, and that's probably it. Additional features. Eyes full of stars. Eyes full of stars. Which will be something like when trying to perceive invisible creatures. You see what's not what you don't see. I am the gap. Advantage when striking but there's no teleporting down in Carceri. This is why it's a feature. Target just teleported. Visually moved. Alright, so let's work on the character background. To the shores of the Lake of Doom. When you... The Cleric. You were destined to be sacrificed to Thazadun to help waken that terrible Titan. But upon the shore, trusting you followed your parents, tottering along, the jagged rocks. But upon the shore, you heard a voice, a clear voice, and you followed it. You followed it instead of your parents, who were swiftly killed by the angels of the terminus. By an angel of the terminus. Because these are giant angels. These are the do not screw with me angels. These are not the go down and speak well of mankind. They're the original biblical, oh my god, I can't believe that's what that is. Thousands of eyes and etc. Things of madness. The god you heard was called Hisland, and he had awakened. He had awakened recently. He was the chain that bound Dazadun, and he had weakened. But not for long. Under your with you as his cleric, soon to be his high priest, you brought the word of him to others, and they have taken up his cause as their own. Now, with the religion firmly in place, it has come time to leave Carceri and carry the word beyond to the wider world. Even though his influence is weak out there, it must be done, or else the God of the Gaps, small lowercase, God of the Gaps, will shatter, and Dazadun will be released. What you do, what consumes your life is preventing the looming apocalypse. That your parents once worshipped. Looming up, just a looming apocalypse. Just a looming apocalypse. Prevent the looming apocalypse. But this is preventing the looming apocalypse. Every day is a struggle. And every day you will fight. Okay, good enough, good enough. Alright, some cool treasure, perhaps. Book of Lost Puns. Sontage, things that only they would be two halves of a geode that don't match, yet still attached to one another. As if they were. Right, what else? I don't know. What? Maybe the ceremonial robes and headpiece. Really a pain in the neck. And this is stuff you don't carry. This is just treasure. I may use I may give them the geode, just as a gewgaw. It's really part of the, really a pain in the neck. A copper kettle. A simple copper kettle, which is awesome down there. All right, so I think I've reached the end of it. Again, his treasures aren't going to be treasures by any sort of the imagination. Book of Lost Tens as if halves of a that don't match, and yet they do. And yet still connect. Uh, 42 GP. Three CP as bought. Okay. Now this part would be all filled with their spells. They're gonna have a lot of spells. They're gonna have level 9 spells. They're gonna have world shaking spells, and God help me on that. Because to be honest, at this level of power, there's a lot of things you have to do to rein back in the magic, and the cleric is kind of unbound. Whereas wizards, there's not enough power in the weave. There's not enough. They're powered by Hislin, and there's very few things that they can't do. But at the same time, their deity is weak, and every time they pull from them, that's an issue for how long they can sustain themselves. So while they do have the power, they may not want to use it. The limits of power. Okay, so it's just something for the character there. I don't think it's going to inhibit the player, but it's a reason that they just can't go to town all the time. It's a cinematic reason, let's put it that way, of why they just don't kick ass all on their own. So anyway, this has been Alan Develops. That we're dealt with the cleric, and we've only got one more, and then we can probably pause the series until I can figure out how to actually construct the encounters and everything else. And more importantly, the flowchart that goes with the encounters to be like, if they go here, they do this. If they go here, this happens. If this doesn't happen, then this scene occurs later on, etc. That's really my meat, and that's what makes the adventure live rather than be a railroad. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe and take care out there. Thanks.